What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Jeffo coming at you with another video, and I hope everybody's doing well. Everybody's been chasing their goals. Everybody's been striving. Everybody's been doing everything they need to do to achieve what they want to achieve. You know what I mean? And, as people that are trying to achieve what we need to achieve, we got to do some difficult stuff. We got to do some things that make us uncomfortable. We got to do things that, we didn't think was possible, or people didn't think that we could do. But we, wake up every single day, keep chipping at it, right? Oh my God. So growing up, as a human, we are creatures that want to do things that are less difficult, less painful, that take less effort. You know what I mean? Things that, you want to always stay in homeostasis. You don't want to do anything that's going to put, you in stress. You know what I mean? Stress is not something that, humans like, right? But for people that are trying to be successful, stress is something that you're going to have to live with. You're going to have to dance with. You're going to be, it's beautiful. Stress itself is very, very, very beautiful. I remember when I used to be in stressful situations, I would literally try to avoid it. I remember being on the football team, right? And there would be times where, the coach would be like, this is earlier in my years. The coach would, call out, hey, I need this amount of people to come over here and, try to do the stuff. And I remember feeling so much fear in my heart. And I'm like, okay, if you choose me, I'll go, but I'm not going to go on my own. I'm not going to willingly take that stress on, right? And for the amount of opportunities I seen that went by, like I seen people that were probably even more scared than me, but, had something, and I used to admire this, had something in them to just be like, okay, I'm just going to do it, right? And they would do it. And sometimes, it wouldn't work out, the best in the beginning, right? But as you've seen the progression, the experience that they get from that stress, they would learn from it. They would learn from it. And that same person that was just as scared as me, or even more scared than me, to go into that said thing, is now excelling in that thing because they had that experience, right? And that's what you need to think. Whenever you want to do something, it's going to be scary. Of course it's going to be scary. If your dreams don't scare you, it's not big enough. It's not big enough if your dreams don't scare you. And when you're doing something, you want it to be difficult, because when it's difficult, it's not easy to obtain. You know what I mean? You're doing something of worth. You know what I mean? You're less likely to be replaced if you're doing things that scares you, because if it scares you, it's gonna scare someone else. You know what I mean? And it comes back to that same thing, like whether the fear is going to hold them back. But you don't let the fear hold you back. You got to be able to dance with stress, and you got to be able to do things that are difficult. So I remember watching the kids, grow up, right? My second year of high school, then it started to be me, because I started, thinking, I'm like, man, I'm tired of all this regret, right? And I started putting myself in situations, and I was better than what I thought I was. I mean, you will never know how to gauge yourself unless you start trying. And once you start trying and you're able to gauge yourself, then that's when you can improve. But if you never try, if you're scared to do things, if you're scared of stress, how are you going to improve? How are you going to get better? How are you going to know things that you need to work on for that stress to then decrease? The stress is going to always be there because it's so unknown. It's so unknown. You're not able to do a case study on it, on like, okay, this is what I need to improve on, right? If you don't, go ahead and do it. You got to be able to mingle with the stress. You got to be able to dance with the stress. And you got to be able to do things that are hard. I watched some kids that are like even younger than me, but like, let's say I was at that time period, right? And thinking of what I was doing. And I'm watching kids have full-on careers. Not only have full-on careers, are also in school. Like there's this one NASCAR kid, I don't remember his name, but he's taking college courses, right? He's taking college courses, but he's also like really, really, really good at driving NASCAR and stuff like that, right? And the amount of stress it takes for you to do that is crazy. And even with the college students that are athlete, academic people that are still graduating and stuff like that, so they're putting themselves in stress. And not only are they putting themselves in stress, they're putting themselves in like two different categories of stress. High level stress. This is not no easy stuff that they're doing. Not everyone can do it, because if everyone could do it, it'd be a lot more, but there's not. And every day, day in and day out, that's all they do. That's all they think about. That's all they're trying to achieve, is to become great in that field, and also excel in both of them, right? They're not trying to be just average, right? And it inspires me. And it inspires me because it shows you that it is possible. It shows you that the pain that you need to put in, or the time that you need to put in, will be worth it if you do everything that you need to do. But you got to be able to be in stressful situations. You got to be able to overcome fear. You got to be able to do all of those things to become great, right? So me personally, I'm in situations where it may not be to that level, but I'm now pushing myself to do things at like a higher level, being able to handle stress and do multiple things, but not too outlandish, but be able to think to myself like, okay, this is why I'm doing it. I understand why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for just to do it. I'm doing it because I want to see my stress capability. I want to see how I'm able to overcome things and learn things in quick rate, and excel in those things, right? And yeah, man, that's basically what it is. And for you to be able to do this stuff, you got to only focus on that, right? You got to be able to touch it every single day. You got to be able to if you don't take your rest and then come right back to it, and not drift off into something different, right? And that was literally my biggest problem. But now I understand that for you to gain the thing that you need to gain, you need to be worth it. You need to put in that work. You need to do that stuff. So yes, I'm in school. I'm also trying to pursue something else as well, and I'm doing YouTube, and I'm trying to do this stuff at a very, very high level, and to the point where it's like I'm not trying to make things or do things that are subpar. I want to get better every single day at my craft, and I want to perfect it to the point where it's like it'll be hard to replicate. It can be replicated, but it'll be hard to replicate, because you're doing something. Because once you start doing things, and you start doing things repeatedly, as creatures, we are going to try to start getting creative with it. So you do have your own little je ne sais quoi. You have your own little two-step with whatever you're trying to do. But the only way you're able to do that is if you deal with the stress and do it every single day, and just try to do it at a high level and improve what you made a mistake on. How can you get better? Because there's everything that you need to get better. All these videos that I do is basically giving you my life story, but also it's giving me a testable thing where I can just look at the videos and be like, okay, this is what I can do better, right? Maybe I didn't touch enough on this one. Maybe I rambled a little too much on that one. Maybe I kind of got off the subject right there, right? And I remember, like, even though I don't want to keep you too long, but I will say this. I remember I used to be very, very scared to even talk in front of a camera. I used to be very, very scared to even like record. I was like, man, what am I going to say? I'm going to freeze up when I start. And now I've done it so much, and I've done it for so many years now. Some videos have, been taken down and stuff like that, but I've still done them. But I remember going from like reading a script word for word and getting stuck on that and being like, oh man, this doesn't even sound like me, to now being able to get the concept of what I'm trying to do, and then be able to elaborate and think of what I need to say in an original way, and away from the heart, where it's like not robotic, where it's not made up, where it's actually from the feeling. And you only gain that when you do work, and master your craft. and be able to, you know, go over the fears. Because me, this was one of my biggest fears. Though I'm not talking in front of a real live crowd, but there are real people watching these videos, right? And that used to scare me, because I'm like, man, what if they did it, you know, this, like that. But now it's like, I've watched so many people, and I've been in so many situations where it really doesn't matter, right? You know, you're not striving to be perfect. I think people people get this misconstrued. Like, they think that everything has to be perfect. Everything does not have to be perfect. There's beauty in the struggle, and that's why people like it. There's beauty in the struggle. There's beauty in imperfection. You know what I mean? Because it shows that you are real, and it shows that you can achieve things, even if it's not the set way that the world has said this is how it used to be. You can excel in your own different type of way.